Most people spend their entire lives working towards one thing, a pension. What if you didn't have to? What if you could replace your pension with one smart property investment? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did that, turning one house into two flats and generating income that now beats what the state pension would pay me. Real numbers, real footage, and no fluff. What the state pension actually pays. The full UK state pension as of 2025 is £221.20 per week. That's just over £11,500 a year. And that's only if you qualify for the full amount, which requires 35 years of national insurance contributions. That's barely enough to cover basic living costs, especially with inflation and rising rent. Part 2. The deal that replaced my pension. So here's what I did. I bought a house and converted it into two self-contained flats. It wasn't a huge development, just smart planning and a clear vision. Now, those two flats bring in a combined £1,346 a month. That's over £16,000 a year, which is more than the state pension. But here's the kicker. I still own the asset, it's growing in value, and I can refinance, sell, or pass it on. Part 3. Why this strategy works. Monthly cash flow. Once it's let out, the rent comes in every month, predictable and passive. Asset growth. Property typically appreciates over time. Leverage. You can use mortgages to scale this. Control. Unlike pensions or stocks, you have direct control over your income and expenses. This strategy works because you're not just relying on the capital value of a pension pot. You're building an income stream that starts now and not when you're 68. Part 4. The numbers you need to know. Let's say you want to replicate this. Here's roughly what I spent. Purchase price £265,000. Refurbishment and conversion costs were £85,000. So my total investment was £350,000. Now the rent for the ground floor flat is £1,400 per calendar month, and the first floor flat is £1,350 per calendar month. That's a total of £2,750. The total mortgage cost is £936. I pay 7% management on the gross rent, so that's £192.50 in total, and set aside 10% of the gross rent for maintenance, which totals £275 per calendar month. This results in a net monthly cash flow of £1,346. I purchased this house using a bridging loan, completed the works and refinanced after 6 months. On the refinance, the ground floor flat got valued at £210,000 and the top floor flat £200,000. So in total, £410,000. I got a 75% buy-to-let mortgage, which meant that I was advanced £307,500, which I used to pay off the bridging loan and as much of the refurbishment and conversion costs I incurred. So overall, I was left with £44,000 in, roughly £22,000 per flat. Compare that to putting in £44,000 into a pension fund. You might get a return of say 4 or 5%. That's £1,760 to £2,200 a year before fees, versus over £16,000 net from this one deal. What you need to make this work. This isn't about getting lucky, it's about the right structure. Buy below market value if you can. This house wasn't in bad condition, but the owner had agreed to buy another house and at the same time inherited some money, so just wanted a quick sale. Know your numbers, especially the build and rental estimates. Work with professionals, builders, planners, and mortgage brokers. Think long term. This isn't a quick flip, it's a sustainable income. Final thoughts, anyone can do this. This isn't about being a millionaire, it's about being strategic. If I can do this with one property, you can too. And imagine if you did 2 or 3. Property isn't about big profits. Done right, it's about freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, and not having to rely on a system that may not be there when you need it.